Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 22. Krishna has taken the clothes of the gopis and now they're coming out one by one from the water. They're falling more and more in love with him. Yuyam vivastra yadapotre tavrata.
Neha ji, it is your turn, but if Bhakta Priya Mataji wants to read, because I finished. So if she wants to
Yeah,
read, otherwise
yeah.
you can read it here.
Bhakta Priya Mataji will read.
Okay. Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
oh.
Yuyam vivastra ya ya apa data vrata
Vyaga hateta tadudeva helanam.
vyakahata tabyu devaha ram halenam kalam.
Badvanjalim murni apanotaye hamsaha.
Tataha nujonin muradin apatatya mahasyaha
Kritva namoto vasanam prakrayatam.
kritva namo jo vashabnam bhagayatam.
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna said, "You girls bathed naked while executing your vow, and that is certainly an offense against the demigods. To counteract your sin, you should offer obeisances while placing your joint palms above your heads. Then you should take back your lower garments." Krishna wanted to see the full surrender of the gopis, and thus he ordered them to offer obeisances with their palms joined above their heads. In other words, the gopis could no longer cover their bodies. We should not foolishly think that Lord Krishna is an ordinary lusty boy enjoying the naked beauty of the gopis. Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, and he was acting to fulfill the loving desire of the young cowherd girls of Vrindavan. In this world, we would certainly become lusty in a situation like this. But to compare ourselves to God is a great offense. And because of this offense, we will not be able to understand Krishna's transcendental position, for we will wrongly take him to be materially conditioned like ourselves. To lose transcendental sight of Krishna is certainly a great disaster for anyone trying to relish the bliss of the absolute truth. So, the girls, they were covering themselves with their hands and coming out, no? But Krishna is like, no, no, you have to place your hand above your head because you have uh, offended the demigods. You didn't wear any clothes, you were naked, so now you put your hands above your head. So why did he say that? Because he wanted to see the full surrender of the gopis. So then we may think, oh, how can Krishna do this? How? This is so lusty. This is what is happening. But then we have to understand that Krishna is not like us. For us, it is going to be a very lusty situation, but not for Krishna. He's the absolute truth, supreme absolute truth. So it may be very difficult for us to understand this pastime because then we are looking at it from our position. But we have to understand that Krishna is God. He can never do anything wrong. He never does anything wrong. He's never lusty. There's only pure love in him. And here also he is fulfilling the desires of the gopis. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Iti achyutena vihitam rajabala.
Ite achartam napahritam vajapalam
Matva vivastra plavanam Ratachyutim.
matvam vivashtra pavanam vrta chatin
Tatpurti kamas tad ashesha karmanam
tapurti karmam ta ashashakarmanam
sakshat kritam nemur avadya mrigyataha.
sakyas sakyas vritam nemud arvatya murgat yataha.
Thus the young girls of Vrindavan, considering what Lord Achyuta had told them, accepted that they had suffered a fall down from their vow by bathing naked in the river, but they still desired to successfully complete their vow. And since Lord Krishna is himself the ultimate result of all pious activities, they offered their obeisances to him to cleanse away all their sins. The transcendental position of Krishna consciousness is clearly described here. The gopis decided that it was better to renounce their so-called family tradition and traditional morality and simply surrender unto the Supreme Lord Krishna. This does not mean that the Krishna consciousness movement advocates immoral activities. In fact, the devotees of ISKCON practice the highest standard of restraint and morality. But at the same time, we recognize the transcendental position of Krishna. Lord Krishna is God and therefore has no material desire to enjoy young girls in sexual affairs. As will be seen in this chapter, Lord Krishna was not at all attracted to enjoying the gopis. Rather, he was attracted to their love and wanted to satisfy them. So the girls, the gopis are now saying, oh, we did the vow, and Krishna is saying, our vow, now we were naked in our vow, so we better, follow what he's saying so that we can follow our vow properly. Because they really wanted Krishna as their husband. And they're offering obeisances to him. They understand Lord Krishna is the ultimate result of all pious activities. So they're offering their obeisances to him that whatever sins they may have, it can be all washed away. And the gopis, of course, have no sins. They're pure devotees of the Lord. So in the purport is mentioned that, it does not mean that ISKCON is advocating immoral activities. No, in fact, the devotees have to follow the regulative principles. But we have to understand that Lord Krishna, he is not an ordinary human being. He is the Supreme Lord himself. So he has no material, lusty desire to enjoy the gopis in sex life. And in this pastime also we see that he just wanted to see their love. He wanted to satisfy them. It was their vow, and he wanted to fulfill their desire. The greatest offense is to imitate the activities of Lord Krishna. In India, there is a group called Prakrita Sahajiya, who imitate these affairs of Krishna and try to enjoy naked young girls in the name of worshipping Krishna. This ISKCON movement sternly rejects this mockery of religion because the greatest offense is for a human being to ludicrously imitate the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the ISKCON movement, there are no cheap incarnations, and it is not possible for a devotee of this movement to promote himself to the position of Krishna. So, there is a group of people is there in India. They try to imitate Krishna's pastimes with the gopis. But that is not correct. That is very wrong. Great offense. They're called Prakrita Sahajya. So we cannot imitate Krishna. So ISKCON, it rejects this kind of behavior that in the name of religion doing great offenses, doing sinful activities. 500 years ago, Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who practiced strict celibacy throughout his student life, and at the age of 24 took sannyas, a lifelong vow of celibacy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rigidly avoided contact with women in order to carry out his vow of loving service to Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya, 500 years ago when he came, he was very strict about observing the vows. When he was a student also, he observed celibacy, and then after he took sannyas, he would not closely associate, he would not let any woman come close to him even. Even one of his follower, Chota Haridas, right? Chota Haridas had just gone to take rice. Yeah, he was just taking rice from some woman who was even elder than him. And he had no even lust in him or anything. But yet Lord Chaitanya rejected him. He was so strict in his personal behavior and of his close associates. Of course, for the Grihastas, Lord Chaitanya had Grihasta devotees like Srivas Thakur, Advaita Acharya, and when their children were born, he was happy, would name them. But for sannyasi, brahmachari, he was, that you have to observe celibacy. When Krishna personally appeared 5,000 years ago, he exhibited these wonderful pastimes which attract our attention. We should not become envious or shocked when we hear that God can perform such pastimes. Our shock is due to our ignorance, because if we tried to perform these activities, our bodies would be afflicted by lust. So someone may say, oh, how come Krishna can do such things? How can he dance with so many women? How come he's stealing the women clothes? Why can't I do that? Again, because then we are thinking that God is same like us, that we are on the level of God, or we are bringing God on our level. But God is God. He has his own level. And our envy and our shock at these pastimes is due to our ignorance of his position. We can't imitate Krishna's pastimes, because then it's would be afflicted by lust. Lord Krishna, however, is the supreme absolute truth and is therefore never disturbed by any material desire whatsoever. Thus, this incident in which the gopis gave up normal standards of morality and raising their hands to their head, bowed down in compliance with Krishna's order, and it is an example of pure devotional surrender and not a discrepancy in religious principles. So this is love between gopis and Krishna, and this pastime is not to be imitated by anyone. In fact, the gopis surrender is the perfection of all religion, as Srila Prabhupada describes in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The gopis were all simple souls, and whatever Krishna said, they took to be true in order to be freed from the wrath of Varuna Dev, as well as to fulfill the desired end of their vows, and ultimately to please their worshipable Lord, Krishna. They immediately abided by his order. Thus, they became the greatest lovers of Krishna and his most obedient servitors. So the gopis, they love Krishna. And whatever Krishna says, they accept it and they follow it. So because of their love for Krishna, they wanted to please him. They also wanted to ask forgiveness from the demigods. They wanted their vow to be fulfilled. So they followed Krishna's order and they offered him obeisances. And by doing so, it shows their greatest surrender to Krishna, the greatest lovers of Krishna. Nothing can compare with the Krishna consciousness of the gopis. Actually, the gopis did not care for Varuna or any other demigod. They only wanted to satisfy Krishna. So that is what the gopis wanted, that Krishna wants me to offer him obeisances, so that's why we are going to do that. This was their mood. Parikshit Maharaj also, when he's speaking the Brihad Bhagavatamrita to Uttara, his mother, and then when the story happens that, okay, that the gopis are the greatest receivers of Krishna's mercy, he tells his mother, dear mother, you worship Krishna in the mood of the gopis. And then he tells her, engage in devotional service in the mood of the gopis, or become a servant of the gopis and of Lord Krishna, the master of the gopis. So the gopis' mood of surrender is the highest. There's nothing lusty in the relationship between gopis and Krishna. Again, we have to remember we cannot imitate any of these pastimes. Any comments? Question?
Hare Krishna, Shilpa ji, what was written here, I have heard this from my grandmother. Like, she would tell us that you should not bathe naked because they never used to in the olden times. So she just said that, you should not bathe naked, like just wear your undergarments and bathe, and then for the final shower, you could just remove them and wrap your towel with tea. Yeah, that's what she told always. Like, that's what she also did. She said that I never, because, sometimes I was like, how can you even bathe like this? Like, माँ आप ऐसे कैसे नहा सकते हो? आपने तो कपड़े ही पहने हुए हैं. How, I mean, like, how are you taking bath? And she said that हमारे को ऐसे ही बताया गया है that हमें कभी भी सारे कपड़े उतार के नहीं नहाना है. So we wear our clothes and then we take shower, and then just for the last mug, because उस टाइम पे shower नहीं होता था, वो mug से नहाते थे, right? If you remember. तो वो बोलते थे कि हम जब फाइनल मग अपने ऊपर ऐसे डालते हैं ना, तो हम सिर्फ ऐसा निकाल के बस डाल के और टावल ले लेते हैं अपना, जल्दी से बस अपना तौलिया ले लिया हमने. So that's what she always. So I just remembered. So that might be the point. Like कि अगर हम naked bathe करते हैं तो हमें ऐसा कुछ होता है, something maybe.
Okay. Tas तथा वनता दृष्ट्वा
Natan drishta
भगवान् देवकी सुतः
Bhagavan Devaki Sutaha
वासांसि ताभ्य प्रायच्छत्
Ashran Sita Pratyachat
karunastena toshitaha.
Karunatena Tashitaha.
Seeing them bow down like that, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Devaki, gave them back their garments, feeling compassionate toward them and satisfied by their act. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, here again Sukadev Goswami is saying, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, he's reminding us Krishna is not an ordinary person. He's not like us. We are not like them. He is God. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he became compassionate to them. He was satisfied by their following his orders, and he gave them back their clothes. Although I don't know here why is he being called son of Devaki. He's in Vrindavan. Usually he will be known as son of Yashoda.
But you remember, we have read that the other name for Yashoda Mai was Devaki.
Yeah, that's right. Huh? Yeah.
So maybe that is the
Probably.
reference. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. That's
He
right.
was also called Devaki sometimes, Yashoda Mai.
That's right. Should we stop here? Did you all have anything to add?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
And the last verse, which the purpose say the Prakrita Sahasya. Does really have this the sangha like this?
Yeah, have.
Oh, I just in like a drama or dancing like this. No, is
No,
the
no.
the mood always want to copy like Krishna Lila.
Yeah.
Oh, because I don't know. Like we are dancing. Sometimes maybe we were learning the Krishna song or something. So I think we are become like this or not. So I have this question. Sorry.
No. But dancing for Krishna, that's good. But this is copying Krishna's, imitating Krishna pastime. Like having some connection with other men, other women, in the name of saying that this is for Krishna. That is
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
That is wrong. Or, sometimes some man will dress as a woman and dance. So all those things were condemned by our acharyas. That cheap imitation shouldn't be done.
Yes. Okay. I got your point because I confuse sometimes. Sometimes we learning and sometimes I very nervous. I don't know. Some I do maybe have offenses. So why I ask this question. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you everyone for listening and joining. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.